Okay, so here is the assignment associated with doing inverse square law. Now this is real simple. You just got to find a window. It's a nice, a nice cloudy kind of day. Works the best as opposed to direct sunlight coming in. Or if you have a sheer curtain, you could draw the sheer curtain. I've pulled the curtain out over here, so I have this great directional window light coming in. And you can see clearly that there is almost like split light, like there's a real bright amount of light on one side of my face versus the other. So we can really examine this pretty easily and pretty quickly. If I just start moving away from the window, right, I can get all the way to about over here, and you can see that there is light fall off. So we want to try and take some pictures of a person, or you could set up a tripod and use the timer, right, and get this great bright light on one side and watch the fall off as I move further and further away, right. You can see that we're getting this fall off. Now the other aspect of this is I just got a piece of foam core here, the reflector, right, is we can now move this in or bring it further away and see the difference that that makes as we get some effect from the reflector onto the dark side of the face. So we're filling in, right? We're filling in using the window light as our main light source, bouncing it off here. And again, we can try to get that so we get just a nice little bit of fill in on the back side here and work back and forth depending upon how much light we have coming in the window and how much light we're getting off the reflector. Obviously you'll frame this a lot tighter so you won't see the reflector, but you could easily hold the reflector and do this all in a timer, a 10-second timer, and do these pictures yourself quite easily and have some fun with playing with the light and getting the exposure right. Use your spot meter maybe to meter on this side of the face, or your partial meter and meter on the bright side of the face so you get this exposure right. And move back and forth and bring the reflector in and out to get some effect of what inverse square law looks like simply using window light and using a reflector, a piece of paper, a piece of cardboard, spray paint the cardboard white, anything like that that you can use to get a reflector into this situation. And you can have some fun with this using essentially inverse square law. Now if you have a light or you have a little bit of a studio setup at home, use one light, put it to the side like a window you have here, and get an exposure where you're very close to the light and move further and further and further away, and you'll be able to see the light fall off. And notice how when you get so close to the light that you get this dramatic fall off the closer you get, and how the light evens out and the exposure evens out the further you get away from it. So it's just something kind of fun to take a look at with inverse square law and how the light really behaves. And remember, it's just one of the properties of light. That light will always do this. You'll always have this dramatic fall off as you get very close to the light source. And as you move further away, the light tends to even out and the exposure is more consistent as you get further away. Not such dramatic fall off to the light. Okay, so that's basically it with inverse square law. Also, I'll put up a couple other YouTube videos from some other people that have explained inverse square law and done some really nice explanation of those as well. So take a look at those, and we're looking at probably 4 or 5 pictures here as we demonstrate our understanding of inverse square law. Okay, great. See you next week.